trying to find plenty ways and plenty methods to say the quiet thing out loud without ruffling any feathers. First of all, I would never hold any up and coming better or anything that's aligned with the youth accountable. However, I will always hold the adults, whether vets or new adults, accountable for the shade with the beef between the boroughs and townships within the New York City state, okay? And that's the best way to say it. Like basically, like I think every generation like literally grew up with this whole dumb notion with the Bronx versus Brooklyn versus this versus that, right up to Yonkers and other townships in New York City and state. But like honestly, this is what they don't ever tell you because it's like honestly, bro, like the people that's really beefing between townships, other sides of the city, and boroughs and all that within the New York City estate, like they all have one thing in common. All three of them have white neighbors. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm sorry, I may not have grown up with a white neighbor, but I grew up with white classmates and they was all my friends. Like, it's okay. Like, honestly, the people that like the Bronx, Brooklyn, townships, New York City and state beefing, but they gatekeep the fact that they've had a white neighbor down the hall. I'm talking about Uncle Serge and Auntie Joan giving their badass kids cigarettes at 10, where their parents at their household won't even let them smoke a cigarette, but you got Uncle Serge and Auntie Joan give you a fucking cigarette. Like, boy, bye. Like, how dare you? It's always a beef between gatekeeping ass niggas. Like, like I guess like the 50 Cent and the Takashi 69 and Tupac, the bitter homosexuals beefing. Well, guess what? Between the boroughs, the townships within the New York City estate, it's literally beefing between DL friends. I'm sorry to say, like, yeah, I don't care because I'm out the fucking way. I've been out the fucking way. And on the low, like, y'all deserve everything y'all get on all sides of the street, no matter who you are, where you come from, or what you give. Because all this stems from you celebrating your Caucasian white friends in private, but you don't show up for them in public, but they showing up for you on both sides of the fucking street, and I keep every nasty word to myself. Like I said, it's okay to have Caucasian white friends. Okay? I may not have grown up with a Caucasian neighbor, but I grew up with Caucasian classmates, they friends, this and this and that. What you talking about, bruh? Okay? So basically, you know what? Like to keep it all the way PG, like the neighborhoods that like I was raised in, basically Soundview, Longfellow, and then even Parkchester where I will hang out with, just to name a few. Like, bro, like if anything, if you really want to get technical, like we should be the first ones and the last ones beefing with the other side of the city, township, and upstate, because there was no white folks in our neighborhood until 2020 plus minus, right? And then them folks that came into our neighborhood, they start like immersing themselves in cultures that we have been fighting against, prayed against, and all in God's glory. I mean, I can't make this shit up because I know Hawkins 45th took it down, but bro, like I remember, like he reposted like a white dude up in Shore Haven, Soundview, like repping the Blood Gang, right? He rapping up in Clayson Point, this and that. I do not care how Latin he is. He is white, and that is a full sentence stemming from there was no white folk um in our section until 2020 plus minus. I don't care how Latin he is. He will always be seen as an infiltrator, and he is donning a red bandana. Okay, like I will put the description of what I know about the Bronx, but like like I said, I'm never going to hold the up and coming badass battles and the youth accountable for anything. However, I will always hold you gatekeepers accountable because you knew from jump and y'all knew better. Thank you.